Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of this Cardiff or new player to glory. We've had a very interesting week. First week of Championship has come and gone. A lot of draws, a lot of surprise results, and we'll come on to that in a little bit because Cardiff had a very interesting game. Gives me a lot of confidence for the season to come up. On the first video, we kind of talked about what my general ideas were. I always wanted to get like the full Cardiff team. This has changed a little bit because I had like MLS limited run in. I wanted a limited Cardiff team. That all changed. So we've flogged the MLS team. We flogged the Cardiff limited players because one of the limited players we picked up, thanks to our streaks with the MLS, was Issa Doumbia for Sporting Lisbon, and we sold him for a nice bit of profit, and that managed to get us a couple of extra new things, along with like the market credits that we've been picking up, the essence that we've been crafting for rear wheel spins. A lot has changed in the last week, and I probably should have documented more of it than I actually have. But hey ho, that's part of a learning journey. This is also going to be the last video, probably in this background. I'm moving house next week, so don't know what next week's video is going to look like. I actually get the keys on Friday. Cardiff are playing tomorrow. Yeah, we might get one in before tomorrow, possibly. We'll have a look. But yeah, we got Issa Doumbia, which was a good sale. And now if we go into our club, we have got a lot more players that we've managed to acquire. Most importantly, we've now got not one, but wherever the second one is, 2 Nathan Trots, which allows us to be fielding 2 really strong lineups, along with the rest of the Cardiff players that we got and just random players from around the league like Jisum Ronald, and then we picked up, it's a bit of a spoiler, but we got a Luke Cundle crafted out of our rewards. We also got a Norwich player, but doesn't play, and he sold for like £2.50, so hey ho. But what I want to do first is, if I go into my lineups, it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler. Actually, no, it's not, because it's taking me back. So, if I go to the last game week, we entered 3 lineups, and I went for leaderboards because there was only 682 people in leaderboards, so it just felt like a more guaranteed return on investment. I think the streaks required for pro, would I have hit it? 324 points? I think that's the first streak, or maybe it's 340. I'm not actually too sure because I haven't really looked at limited streaks. I know I get a bonus for having a rare team, so we probably would have hit the first streak if we had gone for that. But in our first week, we entered Nathan Trott, Joe Bagan, Joe Colwill, Yusuf Salek, Ollie Tanner, with our substitute being Perry NG. So it wasn't the greatest week. Nathan Trott got us the kind of bulk of our points, but we managed to pick up a nice little bit of essence. 2k here, 500k on my substitute essence because I had Moylan, Willock, Ashford. And then our third team, I didn't really expect Rubin Colwill to play, but if anyone has seen that free kick, Rubin came off the bench maybe 15, 20 minutes ago and scored a literal last kick of the game free kick to get a nice number of points and to get us 2k essence, which lets us upgrade our team, and then 2k XP, and then 2.5k essence, which we used to craft what turned into Cundle and some random reserve player that doesn't play for Norwich. That combined with the Doumbia sale, we have now picked up our second trot, like I said. And we have gone to this week's lineups with a lot more of a clear intent on what we want to do. So we're going leaderboards again. 729 players in leaderboards as it stands, with still like a day and a couple of hours to register. I think it's actually just a day now. But we kind of broke this down to 2 lineups who are playing to win kind of as best possible rewards as we can, and 2 lineups which will be very limited in terms of scoring, and they probably won't even touch the field. But because of the low number of people in the leaderboard competition, it picks me up just 3 XP just for the sake of pressing a couple of buttons with players I've already got for my collection level. So our 2 main lineups, we're going with Nathan Trott, Joel Bagan, who had a good game at centre-back. We are going for Jack Moylan, who had a fantastic league debut for Cardiff last week. Yusuf Salek, who was very quiet, but he was fairly isolated up top against three of Wrexham's centre-halves. And we're going to go with the risky one of Rubin Colwill in the starting lineup. After his free kick last week, I don't see how he doesn't play. And then our substitute, in case Rubin doesn't make an appearance, will be Kian Ashford. Cardiff are away to Derby. I don't really... I know Derby were in the mud a couple of years ago and they were really struggling. And I look through this squad now and I see we got players like Samodic, Steven Sanderson. So there's a couple of players that I do recognise, but like I look through that list and honestly, I think that is a game that Cardiff can win. Second lineup, we're going for Nathan Trott, Perry Ng, Alex Robertson, Ollie Tanner, Chris Willock. Don't know why Willock is a 40% chance to start in because I don't think anything was wrong with him last game. And then our substitute will be Joel Colwill. Third lineup, Scanlon, I think, is basically he should be 100% to play because Cardiff have some real defensive injury situations at the moment. So I think the back four is going to be a really makeshift back four. I expect it to be Scanlon, Bagan, Perry, and Capaccio. So that's the way my brain is kind of thinking. So this lineup, I'm just going for the XP. We put our new boy Kendall in. He seems to score like consistent mid-40s in points, and GSOM earned me 40 points last week. And then our substitute there is going to be David Turnbull, who didn't feature in the first game. I think he's actually injured, but we just needed to get a substitute there. And then if any of these players touch the field, I'd be very surprised. I know Chambers was in training for Cardiff today, or on the video for Cardiff posted to their Twitter today. But yeah, Turner, he's like third choice keeper. Chambers, Eli King, who hasn't featured for us for a while. Ronald, who I think is injured for Swansea, but he is a starter when he's back from injury. Tarek Lamptey, who had an injury, but I think he is, again, like I said in last week's video, a very high quality player for this league. I just think at some point he's going to start playing and start getting me some decent scores. And then Mafiko, I've purely put in there on the basis of he played, I think, left back in a under-21s game. So I can see him just being on the bench just in case Bagan or Scanlon need to come off next on Saturday, or tomorrow, I should say. But that is basically a whistle-stop tour of what has happened with our club in the last week since the last video. So I've got now the option of putting in two really competitive lineups. It is all just dependent on how Cardiff perform. We didn't have Robertson for the first game, but we managed to pick him up for the second game. So he's going to be a huge addition because he scored some really decent points last week. And then, yeah, if we look at how we actually performed last week, Trott scoring 66, Bagan in the 50s, Tanner in the 50s, and then Colwill showing what he can do. Moylan lost the ball a lot, and he lost a lot of points due to duels lost, but he is the person that's going to get something going. Like, if an assist or a goal is coming, I genuinely believe it's going to be coming through either Moylan or Colwill, because we looked a much better team with both of them on the pitch. But that is where we're at the moment. The next long-term plan now is to get kind of an extra lineup put together for the streaks. So if this page actually wants to load, here we go. Yeah, so how many points would I have needed for that first streak? 320. So we would have hit it last week, but I think out of any rewards I pick up now, it's going to be crafting, trying to get those championship players to kind of pad out and make a competitive lineup for streaks then. Because if I can start just like, the championship is such a hard league to predict, and I think with Cardiff players, it's very unlikely we're even going to hit like the one off the top streak. But if I can start regularly hitting that $20 streak, amazing. It's going to be really unlikely, but I would like to give it a go. And really, that's about it. Like, not a lot else to report. We'll see how Cardiff's game goes against Derby tomorrow. But you can see we're starting to pick up some extra players from around the league. our Cardiff collection is looking very strong. We haven't got Moylan now, but we got his Lincoln City card, which when we unwrap it, it should be considered a Cardiff City card. We just need to pick up Callum Robinson and Isaac Davis. I just don't want to be paying these kind of prices for players that don't start, when I paid less for players like Tanner, Joel, Willock, who do start on a weekly basis. So we'll just kind of be picked up through manager sales or auctions on low end bids. But yeah, we're getting 4% collection level now as a bonus, so that's a really nice help. And then these players will start to get a couple of extra points. The interesting one that's just caught my eye is Jasper Darland, because he's moved to Viking. So depending what his price is, it might be an option to get rid of him. Has he actually played a game yet? Yeah, so he's not actually played. I might wait for him to play a game or two, see how he does, and then list him, because if he's a decent scorer and he can go into all-star contender, he might get bought for more than I paid for him. What I paid for him? £8. I probably won't get £8 back, but we'll give it a go anyway. But yeah, otherwise, that is pretty much it. Our set hasn't gone particularly well, but I don't want the main focus of these videos to be on set. We got to like the last challenge for the 200 gems, and then we just didn't get the points needed. And yeah, we are just kind of waiting now for the next Cardiff game. I know Harry Trades is doing his Wrexham series, so we are doing the Cardiff series to kind of counteract that. Technically started it first, but after Rubin scored that free kick, I think we both left game week 1 in a really good place. On to game week 2, and let's see how this goes. But yeah, thanks for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment or any suggestions. And if any of you think I've kind of got anything wrong, just let me know so I can improve on next time. But yeah, cheers guys. Thanks. Bye.